inspiration for Carbon Kid? And tell us, where's it stem from, I suppose?
I think basically Carbon Kid's concept, it's a conceptual brainchild, surname being Gray, so obviously grey colour's got to be in there somewhere. Want a very youthful brand, so being Kid, and then there's a little element in there of kind of like indie rock. So placebo kind of sneaks in there and plays a major part in the kind of influence and styling. But basically wanted a brand that had a more of a magazine feel to it. So kind of like cult magazines like Dust magazine and Tank magazine. It's kind of undone, slightly unpolished, a little bit more gritty. Lots of filters, you know, like grubby handprints. Almost like the girls have stepped out of a shoot and kind of had a couple of beers and chucked a bit of water on their face, and the mascara's running, and they've added more glitter, you know, or they're midway through coming back from a festival. So I wanted that kind of vibe to be very current, like young and not, I've had my hair cut and coloured kind of thing. So it's a little bit more raw.
Okay, very good. I see that with your, I mean, you have like an aesthetic, I suppose. You know, you have a backdrop, and can you tell us a little bit about that?
It's my section clip. Yeah, I think because I had like a strong interest in advertising, done a lot of advertising, and when I was at school, when I studied art, you know, advertising fairgrounds, all that kind of vibe. So the theatrics of creating your own universe, very important. Having really nice backdrops that kind of fit the building you're in, like this is a great location. So kind of, as we said, like festival lights, black bunting, and I always wanted that to be kind of, you know, the Carbon Kid aesthetic. So you just have this backdrop that always has the models looking like they should, as opposed to going to a venue and everything's really flowery. It kind of just, I think it can ruin the aesthetic a bit, especially if you've just worked in like a really nice white space. So I want like a Carbon Kid clubhouse eventually, so it will always have that vibe to it.
I'd like to go to that house.
Yes, you're very much welcome. Yeah.
I love the way in hairdressing there's loads of unique characters and creating identities, and I think you've certainly captured that. It's like you know, oh well, I mean, it's I mean you've come from, I mean, as do I. I've come from like an international brand.
We work for the same brand.
We did indeed, for Tony Guy, and you know, I mean, I suppose it was. That was our background. I mean, it was our grounding, our education. So something that they were always very prominent about, education and things like that, which we've continued on, I suppose. What's your view on education now, and you know, how it's evolved? And
good question, $1 million question. I think what you're doing now is it's one of the reasons why I wanted to be part of it as well. It's kind of, I think, what it's about now. I don't think people necessarily want to go to just a space and learn what they can learn anywhere. And there's lots of brilliant companies doing lots of brilliant hair. But I think there's an area for involvement and something fresh, taking it out of the classroom, should we say, putting it into the jewellery building. Just like I wanted a clubhouse. And I just think, you know, instant. People want things now. I've based a lot of looks that I've done on that kind of vibe. So making it instamatically now relevant, fresh, you know, a magazine feel. Education should be what you want it to be that day. It doesn't have to be, oh, you know, if you come to our course, this is the format for 3 days. You know, people don't want that.
Yeah, it's become more instantaneous, hasn't it? And you can deliver trends immediately. I believe. I mean, that's what we're trying to do here. I mean, capture sort of trends in the movement, and the current movement.
Yeah, I think movement more as a word, a vibe or a tribe, as opposed to a trend. I think like people like Dolce & Gabbana have been very good because they make the models take selfies before the people take the selfies of the show. You know, people like Vivienne Westwood create capsule collections that you can buy the minute the show ends before someone rips it off. So it's almost like beating yourself. So it'll be like buy the collection before we've shown it, kind of thing. So I think the world's changed a lot. It's going to change a lot more. You know, the influence of influencers, bloggers and stuff. So it's changed a lot. Everything's changed around it, and if you don't move with it, you look very stale very quickly. I think that's a problem. No one wants to look stale.
Listen. You sort of tapped on it there as well. I've asked all the other artists this as well that have come on board. I mean, what does Hairdressing Live mean to you? I mean, what's your perception of it?
I think Hairdressing Live is current, it's real. You're not masking any mistakes, it's not being fluffed up and polished. It's there, it's happening, you're watching it. Being the best version that you can be there and then in this instant. It's almost like hair in a bag, you know, like it does what it says on the tin, you can buy it, you can boil it up, and you can eat it, digest it, wear it.
Very good. Listen, about the course today, what are the sorts of, I mean, it's kind of editorial driven, isn't it? Would you say that? I mean, what are the key learning aspects of the course today that you're going to do?
I think, like for me, as you said, like editorial is a big word, like, you know, that gritty, undone feel. So using colour more freehand, disposing of the likes of necessarily having to use lots of meshes or foils, because, you know, for a long time, I would do a certain amount of days that did that, but then I would be bored. I'd be like, right, I'm going to do what I feel. So it's kind of taken me to this place now that I do that because it works. So you have an editorial feel, how hair would look if you were colouring it to sit in a shoot or on a camera, like when I used to do education videos. So the process of processing, but make that process the whole process. So colour it directionally, use the gritty textures and the vibe and the feel of wet, matte, dry, gloss, and make it a feature.
Can't wait, actually.
Yes.
So we 1 o'clock today, actually, going live. So super excited about that. Listen, before we get into that, we want to get to the real nitty gritty of Jayson Gray here as well. So just a couple of quick one-answer questions. So what's your favourite colour?
Oof. Grey in every shape or form.
Grey, of course it is. Favourite decade?
Favourite decade, all of them.
All of them. Okay. Favourite holiday? Do you have one?
Yes, Miami 1997.
Miami 1997. Very good. Why 1997?
It's the first time I ever went to Miami with a lifelong ambition to go to Miami, and I got there, I had arrived, and I watched reruns of the Golden Girls while I was there, so...
Okay. What better holiday without the Golden Girls, eh? Hairdressing muse, do you have one?
Hairdressing muse, I have a fair few hairdressing muse. I don't have a particular hairdressing muse.
Okay. Several. Can you give us one, or you don't want to say?
No, I will. I'd probably say, if I take certain aesthetics out, Sam McKnight.
Sam McKnight, okay, very good. He seems to be a popular one, actually. Very influential.
I always wanted to meet Sam McKnight, and I met him at a party in the 90s, and he drew all over my face with lipstick. So prolifically, he's the one. Yeah.
Okay, very good. Do you have a favourite food?
Favourite food? Yes, anything green.
Anything green? Okay. Favourite city?
Favourite city, London, of course.
London.
Tokyo,
Mac or PC?
PC. Not Mac.
Okay.
Obviously, white and shiny.
Okay, so listen, we are going live at 1 o'clock today, and if you don't have your ticket, please do so now. Jayson's going to take us through an incredible freehand colour technique. So buy your ticket now. You get lifetime access for the event. I'll see you shortly. Okay, thank you very much.